So today, Des Linden broke the world best, I think, if they don't call it world record, in the 50K up in Oregon in a place with very little internet. So we didn't get very much updates. Clearly, super old school. And as Jonathan Galt says, running at the Brooks running 50K and marathon in Oregon, Des Linden takes over 7 minutes off the previous 50K world record, best of 3:07:24. She broke 3 hours, 2:59:54. And we'll just kind of scroll through here. There she is finishing the event. There was some guy screaming really loud at the finish. And of course, her overall pace was 5:47. And Chris Chavez says sub 3. That's 31.1 miles at 5:47 per mile pace. And the previous U.S. record was 3:13:51 by Janice Klecker in 1983. So it's been quite some time. Man, that's a long time ago. But, not a lot of people run this event. And a lot of times they run it on like the track at like Desert Solstice and other events. I'm really happy to see that Des Linden has moved on and doing the 50K. And as I was talking on an earlier video, she did that month-long challenge where you do a mile on day 1, but you do 5 miles on day 5. And then she did, 28 miles, 29 miles, 30 miles, and 31. I can't remember if she did it in October or November. And also another Brooks athlete, CJ Albertson, who lives up the road from me, coaches at Clovis Community College and went to Buchanan High School and was a great star for them and then ran for Arizona. He did really well at the Olympic trials, as did Desi. Of course, Desi came in 4th overall, just missing the team. But CJ broke the 50K record up in Fresno on the Clovis track, and I guess under wet conditions. So now Brooks owns both records. When CJ did it, they didn't have any coverage really, and so this was the second record for them. Molly Huddle, of course, congratulations, sub 3 hours for 50K. So that's nice of her to show it there, and getting all kinds of love from Spikes. And then this person, Kara Goucher says, real casual, Desi Linden. I'm bored. I think I'll run a 50K and not only shatter the world record, but be the first woman under 3 hours. Congratulations, rock star. So really nice to see that. I know that Kara Goucher did a trail ultra, and it'd be interesting to see what she does as well. And then here we got somebody else saying, this is kind of agreeing with Treeline Journal. Jamel Curry can provide live coverage of multi-day Cocodona 250 in the far reaches of Arizona. I think 3 hours of live coverage on a flat road / bike path in Oregon is possible. Respect decision, though, to not go live route. Whatever Des wants, get that record. But yeah, it's just kind of bizarre, because they did hype it up quite a bit, pre-race. She said, should I hype it up? Yes, I'm going to. So they did some publicity before it, but then the coverage was kind of lacking. But everybody was kind of banging on, hitting refresh. And, of course, here's one lady who was on the course writing. She says, Des, I knew we were going to be close to 3. We are crunching numbers out there. I got to break 3 or else I'm going to have to do this again, soon. Her pacer was Charlie Lawrence, 26 years old. So, yeah, that definitely breaking those barriers. I remember when I first finally broke 3 hours of the marathon. It took me 3 shots. First time I blew up and ran 3:01. Next year I had other issues, did 3:03, and then I finally broke 3 hours. And so it's always nice to do that. And then there's some other topic Twitter stuff here. Chris Chavez says he asked Des what her celebratory drink of choice is after her 50K world best. She says she's headed towards Portland area to get some wineries. We're going to mix it up and confuse everyone with some nice Oregon Reds. Though I guess she also likes her whiskey. And just keep scrolling up here, just kind of going through this. Treeline Journal said, oh man, it just hit me. Billy Yang was there, and he's making a film, Des 50K. And yeah, Billy Yang makes some great videos and movies. He's done Western State stuff. He's followed Sally McRae often. And I highly recommend watching his John Muir Trail video. It was quite interesting. I got to know Billy Yang because he was a Southern California runner and used to see him at quite a lot of the events. And he definitely does his stuff. It's kind of like Billy Yang and Jamel Curry. Definitely makes some great movies. So be definitely looking forward to that. And I guess here, quick edit from Billy Yang from Brooks Running 50K Marathon. News outlets are free to use. And they're just kind of showing you 2-time Olympics and 28 Boston Marathon champ. Sets the world record And so they made a little bit of a video there, so that's nice. And then let's see. Let's Run says Olympian check, world marathon champ check. Yep, from Boston. World record holder check. And definitely the Let's Run guys always do some great stuff. And talks about, they did it out in rural Oregon, and I guess there's just not a whole lot of cell tower coverage out there. The time to beat was 6:02 pace, and she ended up doing 5:47 pace. It's interesting that the lady who owned the record, Dixon, it says here, had a marathon best of 2:29, and of course Linden's was 2:22:38, and it says that 2018 Boston Marathon champ also came within 2 seconds shy of winning in 2011 and 11 seconds short of making her third Olympic team at the trials, and knows the feeling of just missing major milestones. I just really wish she had made the Olympic team, especially now that the whole year's gone by. It was definitely tough watching her get that fourth. So she said, for me, sub 3 was a big high-end goal, so it's nice to achieve it. And I hope the 50K does become more popular. I know around the world, 100K is very popular. It'd be interesting to see how she could do that. She says, Allie took a huge swing at it and took a nice chunk of time off. She's been supportive of this effort. Over the past 2 years, 37-year-old, two-time Olympian and Boston champ, has sought out new challenges to get her out the door. Before the pandemic hit, it was an audacious aim of running the Olympic trials and Boston in a 7-week span. Remember that. It says this spring it was supposed to be the Two Oceans Marathon, 56K in South Africa, but it was canceled due to COVID. And so then that's when her agent, Josh Cox, came up with this breaking the record there in the woods of Oregon. So Cox has a soft spot for the 50K, he says, because he's the men's record holder in 2:43 in Tempe. And so they enlisted the help of the Eugene Marathon race director. So I guess that's why it was up there, and they engineered the Galen Rupp and Sarah Hall, which I was talking about before. And both of those races, had very little coverage, and it's just kind of strange. So they had a 6.5 stretch on the bike path and went back and forth, so they could get a half marathon and full marathon, and just on the bike path, so they didn't have anybody getting there. There are challenges that have been traditionally full dramatic movement. She says that she faded a bit, but then just kept going. And further back, Nicholas Thomas, the CEO of The Atlantic, ran 3:04:36 to set a U.S. record for the 45-48. And pro marathon, Adrian Nelson of Romania, who had planned to stop at the marathon prior to the race, ran 2:35 for 26 miles. So that is coverage. Let's see. While today's record attempt excited Linden, it was driven in part by necessity. Tokyo, Boston, and London all shifting to fall. She could not run a major marathon this spring if she wanted to. Linden has already said she plans to run the major this fall. She hasn't said which, but Boston is a smart bet. And recently told Detroit News she'd like to try out for the 2024 Olympic trials when she will be 40. The game plan is to get back in the major marathons. If I'm finishing top 10, top 5, top 10, contending in front, it's what's exciting to me, and I love competing at the level. If it gets too far away from me, then I'll shift and make sure I'm enjoying what I'm coming down. And then it says, what could those goals be? Ultra marathon trail events have long appealed to Linden. She has often cited Magdalene Boulay, the 2000 Olympic marathon, who's 100 Western states, and Leadville during her second act as an inspiration. She doesn't have anything specific in mind, yet Cox has suggested the idea of simultaneous 50-mile 100K record. This is a discussion for another day. First foray into ultra marathon scene, and it was definitely a successful one. And it was good that what coverage there was fun to do, and it's always fun on a Tuesday, a random Tuesday, to watch somebody, well, at least get to follow someone in their pursuit of breaking a world record. So congratulations to Desi and all the people who made this possible.